Just think about it. Astrology is a nice thing to know. Everybody likes to know about their chart, about their things. So here's a need to know things that you can share with other people. It's a very good quality. Like, we know I'm bringing in astrology because everybody here is studying astrology. And to get there, you have to have some qualities that bring it. But you can see the need for good information, to chalk things, to have ideas, to share with people that people want to know. Well, that brings up a special, that reinforces that moon in Libra. It's cardinals. You need to have things to push, to project. So I know what sign, I know what this means. I know what that means. There it is. I want to tell you this. It's a lot better than just talking about gossip or Facebook. So, yeah, so we're seeing the attitude today is need to be appreciated, need to be nice, need to have someone listen to me, need someone like my ideas, need to feel I'm advising people, I'm talking to people. So for a counselor, advisor, that moon in Libra is a nice thing to share ideas, to nurture, be nurturing in one's understanding, or to have ideas or intellectually, like a teacher could have that, the need to project ideas and the need to make people feel secure and to feel that one can live like that. So that's the moon in the sign. It's ruled by Venus, so it shows the need to be appreciated or paid for that or appreciated for that. Venus is in Capricorn, Sirius, down low in the chart, but it's part of her motivation scheme. Anyways, the moon in the Libra is needed to needs to express and be appreciated. Now, when you put the moon into the houses, whatever house the moon's changeable, it fluctuates, it's up and down. There's a need for financial security with that moon in the second house. But at the very same time, because the moon's in the second house, money's going to be up and down. It's going to come and go. It's going to fluctuate. It's not going to be just a steady, stable factor. Okay, so the moon brings a need and a fluctuation. So when it's up, it's going to feel great. When it's down, it's going to feel, oh, this is terrible. What am I going to do? So there's a need to have moon hobbies, to live in a certain way that can generate income or make money. That's that second house, and that need is there. So it's rising. There's a need to project her needs and her need to express herself, her need to belong, her need to be listened to. She's going to want to express herself. And she's going to need other people to appreciate. She's going to do it with a certain style. There's a need for that. So, okay. It's rising, it's below the horizon. So I need to live up to my own ideas. So I have content, I have things myself so I can express what I'm feeling and what I know. So I can express what I'm feeling and put, this is what I've studied, this is what I know, this is what you need to learn. So there's a tendency to project, to feel secure, and to need to feel secure in projecting one's ideas. Now, because it's below the horizon and rising, she's going to project her what she feels she needs to project and express herself, whether other people want to hear it or not. So she's going to be trying to expressing things to influence other people, to inspire, to educate other people. Okay, then it's in the intuitive quadrant. So the moon in the intuitive, projecting one's motivation, getting yourself together, feeling a need to have content so that one's identity can project it. Well, the Virgo ascendant is going to be shy and somewhat self-critical and reserved about projecting things, but that moon is going to need to put things out. Again, it's fixed, it's succeedent, and it's in the earth house, in the house of money and resources and concerns. So there's a need to be concerned about resources, money, and how I'm living. Need to communicate about it so one can improve it. If you ran at a job, what do? You talk to friends, you tell people about it till you find out something else that can come out. But inside is the moon, it's not only it's your habits and even your hobbies. So to have habits and hobbies that could pull in money or pull in some resources, then it might still be a need for another job. But really, if you had the hobby to be able to have the hobby of astrology and get good at it, everyone's going to want to talk to her and want to ask her about her chart. She's going to feel great about doing it, and money will come to her. And that gives her a fairly strong sense of security. Now, with her moon, there's 3 trines to the Mars, Mercury, and the Sun. So that Mars, Mercury, Sun is a very smart person. There's a lot of trining to that, so the communication idea is really strong. There's only one square, one stress factor. That's Jupiter. So that's the expectation of what other people expect of her. She wants to belong, she wants to put in, but she has her way of doing it. So if she's in a group or in a situation, or this can tie up to mom or family. What if the family doesn't believe in astrology or doesn't want to believe the same things she believes? There's going to be a struggle to understand and express, to feel secure. And there'll be a battle over what's right or what's wrong, who's doing what's right or wrong, and feeling half of it. There'll be some misunderstandings and struggles with misunderstandings. And because it comes up, there's a need to have to prove that I'm right, or to understand things properly, or to get a right handle on it. And this would usually be projected. Probably the puzzle comes from mom and what she expects. And it would be projected out to, well, I have friends that like what I'm doing. I want to be out with friends, and the friends may have a contradictory understanding or struggle, different perspective than mom. Okay, so that's the stress side in it, but you still see the need to express herself, the need to have some hobbies of some things that are intelligent, they're building up ideas, they're being educated. She's being educated, and she has things to be able to communicate about that other people like and want. It'll set up the community, but probably it will be difficult to prove it to mom. Okay, this is not extreme aspects. It's not Neptune, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. This is just Jupiter. Some misunderstanding will be there. Let's agree to differ. Okay, so, okay. Then we're going to look at the Mercury. Her Mercury, her communications, her way of expressing herself and the way she thinks is in Pisces. Well, her moon's in Libra and needs to talk and got to talk, but her way of thinking is in Pisces. It's emotional. It's imaginative. Daylight's increasing, but nighttime's greater, so it's like a winter. It's I want to express myself, but I have to get past to what's right and wrong, where everyone has a Pisces complications or different pockets of reality. So it's Pisces mutable. There's a tendency to think too much in too many different directions with Mercury in Pisces. It's be very detailed. That's why it rules Virgo, but it's detriment in Pisces. So you have the tendency to use the mind for what one believes, or to believe in one's ideas, and to be very insightful and perceptive. But it has an imaginative side. It's not. Well, yeah, like it's in the 6th house of work. So her ability to work with her ideas, to express herself, and to express herself kindly, to be able to think about how to help people, how to be kind, how to inspire, how to teach, how to be kind to people. But also, this is not, okay, we'll finish with the Pisces first, sorry. So you have the mutable water, the adaptable, imaginative, and sensitive. She's really sensitive about her ideas and how she's thinking. At the same time, it's complicated because she's sensitive to the good and the bad, that are right, that are wrong. This is ruled by Jupiter. It's just her handle on her bucket. So having the right understanding and the right philosophy about her knowledge. So it's not enough just to learn astrology. Yes, she has to learn what's right and wrong and the spiritual sides and the implications of astrology to have. Well, as she does that, that would come out really more insightful and guided and very helpful. So there's this Mercury, there's a need to help other people, to listen to people, to hear what they're saying, to try and make it better. But if other people are talking bad to her or difficult to her, there's a capacity to be affected by guilt, to have the Pisces bring in the sorrow and the guilt. So the misunderstandings can upset one's mind. If the misunderstandings are upsetting one's mind, what are you going to talk about? You're going to talk about the misunderstandings to people, and people have to listen to that. So it's important to be able to live clearly and get the moon secure with good ideas and good hobbies, so that the mind is centered a little bit and grounded, Has a good relationship to the moon. There's no trouble expressing oneself. This is great for writing or communicating or teaching, counseling. But it's in the sixth house of service, of working. It's below the horizon and subjective below. So she takes personally any mental feedback she gets. So she's very sensitive to what other people say, they believe or don't believe. You believe this, you don't believe that. And she's really alert to it, what other people believe, what people don't believe. But her mind doesn't fit into any one set of beliefs. So she's a multifaceted mind, Pisces, Mercury, with a tendency to exaggerate or to think I'm including everything. But it's in the sixth house of taking impressions in and want to be right, want to be helpful, want to be right. So if someone thinks you're wrong or gives negative feedback, it's going to really rattle that Mercury. It's going to upset that Mercury. She'll take it too personally. She'll start worrying about things. She'll start thinking she has to help here, has to help there. And as soon as she starts thinking, she's going to be acting on it from the moon. I mean, this is a good healing quality, but it can be personal exasperating if you're at family and they think they're going to decide everything for you. Or if you're trying to, there's going to be complications. There's always going to be someone questioning the right and wrong of how she's thinking or trying to adjust her thinking. And she's going to learn how to think what's right and wrong on her own in spite of that. But the Mercury in the sixth house means you work with mental things. You're counseling, you're talking, you're teaching, you're expressing yourself. But there's a need to be socially conscious, kind, helpful, understanding. It's not just to have knowledge, one has to understand. So you can learn the language and the basic words of astrology, make sentences and talk, but that's not enough. You have to be able to have the insight with it. As soon as you have the insight, wow, people are going to want to know. Some people will be appreciative and she'll know who's appreciative. And then when somebody's being, why are you doing this? Then she would have to work around it. So she's very capable about this. Her Mercury is opposed by Saturn. It's trine the moon. It's conjunct the sun. It's well aspect. It's well aspect, except the one aspect, the Saturn opposed to Mercury. This is kind of boredom aspect. This is a tedious aspect. The father probably didn't talk to her that much or was too strict or too serious. So here she's trying to express herself. She believes things. She's seeing things, trying to express herself. Yet there's she's not necessarily going to get reinforcement from those in authority. She needs to belong. She needs to be part. She wants to get the feedback back that she's been responsive, that she's doing good things. And those in authority don't tend to give it, would have more difficulty giving it to her, and she would have trouble because of the Saturn in the 12th. But she would have, she would first be defensive around her thoughts, have to be defensive around it. Then she would start to say, how come this is so useful, I could use it. This is a really good quality for astrology, is this cautiousness. It's good to have caution in astrology. You're studying cycles, you're studying times, you're studying character, and it's better to be cautious than radical, when you're interpreting a chart. So there's a serious side here, a formal side, a little bit of conservative side that might incline one. It's interesting. There's a certain part that would incline one not to be more practical in one thinking. But really, to me, there's nothing more practical than astrology. And that she found it and that she was interesting, that's her Mercury in Pisces searching for the dream, searching for it. Then she has to work to get it without necessarily parental support or spousal support. And it's going to take an effort. So when it comes to studying, it's easy to learn. It's easy to talk about. It takes time, and there's a tendency to be too serious or depressed about doing all the studying.